My selfish and manipulative wife, yet our daughter's college money to fund her shopping addiction, and wants me to take the blame. So I've been with my wife Andrea, 48F, and my stepdaughter Cassie, 17 female, for 8 years. Now I love them both so very much, but Cassie is a very brilliant young woman, recognizing her potential. Andrea and I decided to put together a college fund for Cassie, so she wouldn't be crushed by student loans, and over the years, it has amounted to over $200,000. Cassie is aware of this, and is banking on it, since she's trying to get into an Ivy League school. To make a long story short, last week I found out that almost $170,000 was missing from the account. I freaked the flop out and asked Andrea if she knew anything about it. She teared up almost immediately and said that she had been spending the money over the years to fund her shopping habits. I was furious, but I also had a moment of clarity. I've browsed these subs enough to know that an affair was possible, so I asked her if she was having one. She adamantly denied it and offered any proof I needed, such as her social media accounts, emails, her work phone, everything, and she offered to show me the receipts as well. There was nothing that popped out as suspicious, and the math from the receipts added up as well, so I let it go, but we still had the major problem of the money being gone. She described herself as a shopping addict, and that the money from Cass's account was just too tempting not to use. She didn't make excuses, but offered no solutions as stated before. I was beyond furious. She ruined Cass's chances of going to college debt-free, and has changed the trajectory of her entire life. I asked her to stay with her sister while I tried to figure this out. Cassie was concerned about why she was leaving, but we just said we needed a little bit of space. I asked Andrea to come back home yesterday, and we had an extremely long discussion about how to handle this. At one point while I was speaking, she cut me off and asked me for a favor. She needed to go to individual therapy, we needed couples counseling, and she needed to find a shopaholic support group, and I would be controlling all of our finances from now on, she said. Those terms were steep but fair. I said she needed to tell Cassie what she did, apologize, and hope for the best, but she refused and said she could never risk losing Cassie. She insisted that I could survive the mistake, but she couldn't. I told her that in order to even consider me taking the fall, she needs to agree to my terms. Now I'm stuck, and I don't know what the hell to do. The last thing I want to do is lie to Cassie, but I don't want Andrea and Cassie to split up forever either. And the worst part about this entire thing is that Cass's life is ruined either way. I don't know how to replenish the money, other than maybe borrowing from my own retirement fund. I know that divorce is always an option, but I love Andrea, despite her mistakes, and dating, at age 52, is next to impossible. Update 1. I want to start by thanking everyone who replied to me in the original post. You all showed me tough love, and I truly appreciate that. I won't be staying with Andrea. She's lied and manipulated me and Cassie for far too long for me to stay with her. The fact that she stole from me, Cassie and Cass's grandparents, as they funded a good portion of the college fund themselves, makes this as close to unforgivable as it gets. The most wronged party here is Cassie, since she has an amazing future ahead of her, and I refuse to let her future go to waste because her mum made such selfish choices. After I made the original post, I talked with Andrea deep into the night. She went back and forth with me on admitting to Cassie about what she did. She suggested that she, or even both of us, could get loans to take care of the money. I insisted that she had a problem and needed to make amends, which was a talking point from here. When I threatened her with divorce, she agreed to tell Cassie, so long as I didn't divorce her. So I guess she's afraid of losing everything. That afternoon, we sat Cassie down and told her the facts. She thought we were just kidding at first, but when she realized we weren't, she got extremely upset. I'll spare you the details, but she and Andrea got into an extremely loud and vicious shouting match. Cassie called her some truly awful names, and Andrea, while she didn't curse at her, tried to defend herself, but started getting angry at the name she was being called. They were so loud that the neighbors called the police, and I had to awkwardly explain the situation to them, while hoping they didn't think I was some kind of wife beater. Cassie told Andrea that she never wanted to speak to her again, and that she never wanted a dime of her money, then stormed off. At this point, I asked Andrea to stay with her sister indefinitely, while we give Cassie and me some space. She didn't want to go and fought with me to stay, but I told her that Cassie and I needed time apart from her, so she packed her stuff and went to her sister's house. As for Cassie, she went to her room and locked the door. She let me in after. I told her that her mother had left. She cried in my arms and expressed that her future was now ruined, but I told her it wasn't, and that I would cover her college from my retirement funds and that I would make it right. She doesn't exactly know what a 401k is yet, but she told me that she doesn't want me to work until I'm 90 like the people at Walmart just because of her. I just told her she's worth it, and that you do stupid things for the people you love. She said that she would start looking for scholarships and maybe other schools where she could get a full since she has excellent grades and extracurriculars. I then admitted that Andrea wanted me to take the fall for her, and that I had considered it, but I came to my senses. She got upset with me and told me that would have been the stupidest thing I could have ever done. She said she wouldn't have believed I did it anyway, and it only would have made her more upset at her mother. She told me that she doesn't blame me, and that she's not mad at me for the money being gone, but she is mad that I'd want to cover for her mother. I apologized for that, and we talked and cuddled for a while longer before calling it a night. The next morning, I got a call from Andrea's parents asking if the story was true. Cassie had told them the story, and they were calling to confirm. I had the voice recordings and bank statements to prove it so. I told them the entire truth. They were livid, but begged me not to leave Andrea for this, and to try and help her through her addiction. I told them I wasn't sure about that yet, and hung up. A while later, my parents called and asked me about it, and I confirmed. They were probably more mad than Cassie was, all things considered, and they're threatening to press charges. I told them to calm down, and that I would handle it. Cassie is doing okay, although she's still a little shell-shocked, but she seems to be taking it as well as one could hope for. I made her pancakes this morning, and it seemed to brighten her mood a bit. I asked her if she wanted to do therapy, and while she said she'll think about it, I for one will definitely be doing therapy for myself. As for Andrea, she has been calling to talk, but I'm just letting it ring, so she's leaving voicemail. She's offering anything to right or wrongs, such as money, bedroom intimacy favors, you name it, but it's not going to work. I feel horrible for Cassie, especially so close to Christmas. I think I'm going to get her some concert tickets to her favorite artist. It won't make up for it at all, but it could go a long way to helping her feel better. Update to hello everyone. It's been a long time since I've been here, and a lot has happened, truth be told. I haven't had the time to post an update here, but I finally have a quiet moment to give you an update first. I want to thank everyone here for helping me at such a pivotal time in my life. After rereading my original threads, I can't believe how indecisive and weak I came off in them. The prospect of my marriage ending and ending up alone really kind of shook me to my core, and thus made me come off that way. I started therapy, and it made me realize that being single wasn't the worst thing that could happen to me. In fact, I've turned my loneliness into solitude, and I've taken the time to work on myself. And if that last sentence didn't tip you off, then let me be the first to tell you that I'm single now. Me and Andrea are legally separated and currently in divorce mediation. Unfortunately, Andrea is still very much in denial and is trying everything she can to get me back, including delaying the divorce as much as possible so that we can work on our marriage. She claims that she's begun seeing a therapist who's helped her see the problem she has and has started her path to recovery. I don't know if I buy it, but I told her it's a good thing if it's true. She has also apologized to my parents, hers and her late husband's parents, for what she's done, and offered to pay back the money they've all forgiven her, but are keeping her at arm's length. And she's been desperate to reconnect with Cassie, but Cassie has kept her word and decided to never speak to her mother again, or at least until she's ready to. Andrea's wealthy friends, whom she was so desperate to impress, have been around our house, offering their help. They may be nosy busybodies, but they were very nice to me and Cassie in the immediate aftermath of Andrea's betrayal. They offered everything from a shoulder to cry on, to baked goods, to spa dates. I only ever really took them up on the baked goods, because I will never turn down homemade lemon bars and cookies. Cassie did take them up on spa dates, so there's that one woman in particular. Susan has been around more often than the others, while I feel like the other friends were prying for information. She seemed more genuine, and just there to help me, and Cassie Heel, she cooked meals for us, helped around the house, and just spent a lot of quality time with me. In particular, we didn't ask, want, or need her to do any of this for us, but she did it out of the kindness of her heart, and I really appreciate it. We've gotten a lot closer in such a short time, and I truly consider her a friend. As for Cassie, all in all, she took the loss of her college fund pretty well. She's a very hard-working person, and she put her nose to the grindstone trying to find a scholarship. Unfortunately, she missed the cutoff for most of the scholarships she could have qualified for, but the school of her choice is giving her a very generous financial aid package in addition. She qualified for some local grants, so she got her entire first year covered, and yes, Cassie did thankfully get into her school of choice. In fact, she had many acceptance letters and full ride offers, but she had her heart set on her school of choice. I dropped her off last week, and I'm extremely proud of her, and I know she'll do well. I'm an empty nester now, all alone in this big house, and the silence is deafening, but Susan has been around to keep me company, and I've taken up bike riding as a hobby, so all in all, things are okay. Not great, but certainly better than before. The divorce will hopefully be finalized in the next few months, and I can finally move on with my life. But the most important thing is that Cassie is fulfilling her dreams and potential, and I couldn't be happier about that. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more story like this.